Most of Ethiopia lives a very pastoral farming life and agricultural life, much as it was probably in the days of ancient Israel. And they load up donkeys and they take their donkeys to market and they herd their cows to market. But the Beta Israel here have been here for hundreds and hundreds of years. And for 300 years, in between 1300 and 1600, there were over 500,000 Jewish people here. And they actually had a kingdom here, ruled the mountain areas of this country, and then were defeated by the Christian armies with the support of the Portuguese. These people are the remnants of the Beta Israel kingdom, and it's our objective to keep them alive because they have nothing and they live in the worst circumstances, and to, with God's help, get them back to Israel. As we approach MJAA Water Project 7, we have apparently arrived at the rush hour. This is obviously when people are gathering to get their water for their cooking needs for the next day. This particular well was founded by the MJAA in April of 2007. That's 3 years now that this has been blessing the entire community, Jewish and non-Jewish alike. It's serving 500 families approximately. And it's in the middle of nowhere. We came over mountains, up the valleys. It was not the easiest hike, but here we are because there's a lot of our people living here. Some of them have family in Israel, some of them don't, but our people are here.
The Messianic Jewish Alliance of America stands with the Beta Israel Ethiopians of Jewish ancestry, many of whom were forced to convert to Christianity. Today they desire to return to their Jewish roots and immigrate to Israel. In the hope of reaching the Jewish homeland, the Beta Israel abandoned homes, farms, and villages for the refugee camps. Here they await a renewed opening of the doors to the Promised Lands. In these camps, the Beta Israel faced terrible conditions, without a livelihood, ravaged by disease, and without clean water to drink. Families were forced to draw water from polluted, disease-infested sources that caused severe health problems. The MJAA stepped in to preserve the Beta Israel's lives in Ethiopia by digging numerous water wells at key locations, providing fresh, clean water to thousands.
Water is the essence of life, and if they do not have clean water, they are going to drink dirty, filthy water. And they get sick, and they die.
The Beta Israel greatly benefit from the water wells dug by the Messianic Jewish Alliance of America in the Shamu Mountains, villages, and in the refugee camps of Gondar. However, the MJAA wells, like their Ethiopian government counterparts, can break down and need constant maintenance.
There are a couple of interesting things about this particular well. This is the very first MJAA water project. These water wells aren't just a one-off deal. Put it in and walk on away. They've got to be repaired. They have to be serviced from time to time. A part will break. And so we service them. The government should be, but they don't do it in a timely fashion, and it can be down for months at a time. So we pay for it. We keep the people, and they bless us. They bless the MJAA, the Messianic Jews, every day, because they put the water well in, and they have good water and fresh and clean water.
Several kilometers from the functioning MJAA well, a government well serving another Beta Israel refugee camp has been broken for a year. The residents are forced to drink filthy water from a stream and pay a severe penalty health-wise.
Are they getting sick as a result of it?
How many can they raise their hand? How many have had stomach upset?
Put your hands up in the air.
70 to 80% of them have had diarrhea because of the water.
I feel sick, my stomach, she said, all the time. So please help us to use this water, to use this clean water. Please repair it. We are died, she said. We are died enough.
A 2-hour drive from Gondar, the Beta Israel villagers of En France eagerly await the beginning of the rainy season for the water table to rise.
We are here at the end of the dry season. All of the wells we have dug throughout this country either go partially dry or completely dry towards the end of the dry season. These wells are typically dug out 20 feet. The only way to beat this problem is to bring in sophisticated machinery and go down about 200 feet deep into the water table. Then they can have water 24/7 all around the clock.
The book of Genesis describes how Isaac's servants dug another well, and they quarreled over that one also with the herdsmen of Gerar. 4 millennia later, things haven't changed much in Ethiopia.
There's supposed to be a water committee overseeing it fairly. However, once the water got low, only 5 special families were allowed to come in and to take the water early in the morning, and then it was gone. And everybody else is angry about it. Now, Rivka is seeking to handle the situation.
Joel is finally induced to step into a peacemaking role.
And I know God is great, and I believe God is going to give you and the government and the water committee wisdom to be fair to everybody. Lord, I ask you for peace with the people, and that you will give all of the authorities wisdom to solve this issue fairly.
Amen.
Now, wait a minute.
Hallelujah.
Now, tell everybody to turn on around and give each other a great big hug. Give them a hug. Come on, hug. It's like that. Come on. You can do it. Give each other. Yeah, good. That's good. Give each other a hug. Come on. That's good. Tell them we are all family. God bless you.
The Messianic Jewish Alliance of America extends a helping hand to the Beta Israel children in Ethiopia. They struggle for survival, facing hunger and disease, while the doors to Israel remain closed for now. Many are orphans or have a single ill parent who is unable to help much. 10-year-old Adanish and her younger brother Asmito live with their sick mother who is unable to support them. They have no home. A kind neighbor allows them to sleep in a hut. Adanish must provide for her family. This 10-year-old hauls water for others over long distances. She carries clay to women potters in exchange for a few coins that keep the family from starving.
So all burden she carry by herself.
So as I understand it, their father died young when they were young.
Yeah.
And their mother and the 2 of them, all of them are Jewish, and they have no home. And she, who is an absolutely beautiful young Jewish girl, has to work extremely hard fetching water over many miles, and she earns a little bit of money. What a burden it is, and she's weeping and crying, and she's got us misty. This is a tragedy. These are Jewish people living in the worst, most dire of circumstances. They are Jews, and they need to go home. She begins to weep because she feels the suffering. And who did they have in this world? Who can they turn to? We have to stand in the gap for these, our people here, and get them home. God will give us the wisdom and the resources.
She said, if I have got sponsorship, I would like to learn. And I would like to go to Israel with my mother and my brother, she said.
We're going to try to help your family.
Yeah.
You tell us what you need in Gondar to bring them in, and we can maybe help them specially.
The MJAA works with Rivka Gadama, whose school in Gondar takes scores of Beta Israel children free of charge, offering them an education, a hope for the future as they await the opening of doors to Israel.
This is a little girl 2 years ago that was living in the village of Infrans, which we've been to many times, in a hopeless situation. The mother and father had died, the stepfather had taken her, but he couldn't afford to keep her, in squalid, and I mean squalid and dangerous conditions there. This little girl and her stepfather parted company. The father asked Rivka, our representative here, to take her, to bring her back to the school and to, in essence, rescue her. She did that. She had a wonderful result. This little girl's name was changed to mean bright light, and certainly she has become a bright light here. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because the other family that we showed you in the Shamu mountain area, God put them on our hearts to reach down and rescue that little Jewish family who had no future. That poor little Jewish girl was crying with the burden of her whole family on her back. Yet she will be also, and the family will be brought here under the care of Tusfai and Rivka, put into this wonderful school with hundreds of other students, both Jewish and not. And we believe we will see another miracle story, rescue of a Jewish family.